If you're catching this on the replay, glad to have you with us tonight. Appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We're going to make YouTube great again with your help. Oh, I need to do that. Switch accounts. It's up to us. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood for somebody, maybe for us. I don't know. I'm getting ready to take care of some business while we're here. Thank everybody for coming in tonight. We appreciate y'all. Let me know who's all here. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to us. Good to see our good friend Dog there. Burnout crew. What am I doing? Well, I'm hanging out with you, man. Caitlin's in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Zoe, how are you? We got 16, 17, 18, 20 people in the background. Don't be shy. Give us thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Like all of that good stuff. You have come to the right place to make YouTube great again. We can do it together. Just telling you. Also, if you need advice, questions answered, I can do it. You want to share a story? This is the place for you. We respect everybody and like everybody. We appreciate everybody being here. That's right. We need a lot of likes. We need a lot of likes and a lot of shares is what we need. Thank you all for the thumbs up, Caitlin. I'm telling you, you know, as YouTubers, we're all trying to grow and nurture and help each other, and we got to do that. Right now it says, how do you get more subscribers? Well, simply put, you got to network. You got to go and hang out with other YouTubers, like-minded YouTubers. So first you want to start off with your own community. What is it that you focus on? And then if you're into gaming, you get into the gaming community. So kind of that. You go to live streams. You do live streams. You do a lot of live streaming. I'm a big fan of live streams, as you can tell. Caitlin, thank you. Saying hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to each other. I really like it when people say hello to each other on my channel. Get to know each other. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know. And I'll see what I can do to shout you out, help you out, and give you all the advice. That's how you get more subscribers. Don't do sub for subs. Don't do that. They won't stick around. So you need to make real connections and have people subscribe to your channel the right way. Have them go watch, give a thumbs up, leave a comment on a video or on your live stream, and then have them subscribe to your channel. All right? But you got to encourage them to do it the right way. Anytime, Burnout Crew, happy to help. So that's my biggest advice about that. Don't buy subscribers. Don't say, hey, if you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe to you type of stuff. Don't do that. All right, it looks like Blue is being a troll, so we'll just take care of Blue here. You know. Blue, I got a feeling you have a problem with vegetables. Is it because of the way your mama treated you when you're an itty bitty baby boy? Is that what happened? Your mama treated you badly? So all you can think about is your third leg, your little bitty thingy, your little bitty weenie. Is that all you can think of because your mama treated you so badly? Is that what's going on with you? Just kind of curious. Blue has psychological issues. And usually, whoop, oh, almost got my camera unlocked. Oh, let me fix that. There we go. That's much better. So let's all feel sorry for Blue because he wants attention. And say, "Aw, Blue. Aw, poor Blue. Feel sorry for you." We do indeed. I really do feel sorry for people like you, you know. But hey, you are what you are. You know, I won't hold it against you because you're pathetic. Not gonna do it. Not gonna hold it against you because you're pathetic. I love your green top. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's actually kind of a blue shirt, but I appreciate that. Shadows in the house, good to see you, thank you. Vid's in the house, Jess is in the house, thank you for the good message. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you guys are having a great night. Log, hello, everybody's in there. Yusef's back. Good to see you, buddy. How are you, man? I'm doing great. It's a good day to be in the neighborhood, so to speak, right? I was watching Mr. Rogers, something about Mr. Rogers earlier. You guys may not know who that is. All right. We had a little bit of a troll that had a little penis, but he went away. He got scared and ran away. So I'm trying to read the chat in a couple of different ways so it's easy for me. So forgive me for that. You guys all say hello to each other. Let me know if you have UTM. Jess, of course, green is the best. But I think it's kind of green. You think it's kind of green? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's blue, gold, and light blue. Hello to everybody. Thank you, guys. If you want to subscribe to each other, please do. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know. Yes, I have moderators. They'll be popping in shortly. A lot of them hang out in the background for me and take care of things. I'm lagging bad, but I'm staying. Woohoo! We like that. We like the thumbs up you guys have all given us. We're rock starring tonight. Wait, maybe it's purple. It might be the lighting in here. So, you never know. What color's the hat? See, the hat's kind of blue, right? But I like purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. So what is everybody up to tonight? Anything exciting going on? Tell me. Do you have any questions, dreams, nightmares that I can help you with? I am here. I am here to solve your problem. Mason. Silly. You think it's red, do you? The hat is brown and red? All right. I think you might be colorblind, my friend, but that's all right, man. Kassam says, you are mom. I don't know what you mean, but, you know, I hope you like your mama. If you don't like your mama, then shame on you. Everybody should like their mama. Whether you get along with them or not, you still should have to respect for them. No, you're colorblind. I may be colorblind. I don't. You know, I have a philosophy in life that it's okay to see things differently. So if you see a red rose and you think it's pink, hell, that's okay with me. You might be annoyed, may I have the mod? No. It's red to think about just how I get to sleep, get to night here. And brown, shh. I love my mama too. Woohoo, you gotta love them mamas. Yep, that's right, Jess. A lot of yapping, and that's what we're all about. So, whether you like it or not. Kasam, how are you? Says hello to you, Jess. You guys are talking back and forth, having a good time. So, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the channel. Even if you're trying to be a troll, being a troll doesn't work on this channel. So, we usually just wind up making fun of you, is what we wind up doing. But that's all right. We appreciate you, because every time you troll me, YouTube goes, oh, wow, they got a really busy chat. This is great. And markets me out even better. Is that right, Mason? Mason's been around for a long time. We appreciate Mason. So, man. But let me tell you, it's a beautiful day here. It's cool. It almost feels like fall, even though it's the middle of summer. We've had some rain. Cool temperatures down in the 70s. Oh, where'd all the trolls go? And it's just beautiful weather. We got a lot going on in our part of the world, trying to get things done. That's all right. I got to pay my toll bill. We used a highway toll road the other day, and I got the bill in the mail, and I like to pay it, so I'm going to do that. Star Fox, don't do that. You're going to get deleted. We don't discriminate. We appreciate everybody who believes in anything. We don't care what religion you are, what religion you're not, what country you're from, what language you speak. We don't care. The one thing we don't do is do the race thing and the children thing. So, and if any of that comes across, I'll just delete you. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. You're not going to irritate me. You know, yeah, you said nice, but I know where you're trying to go. So, been doing this a long time. Long time. So, I don't mind trolls. I think they're entertaining, fun. I usually wind up making fun of them, and they go running home to their mamas. They wind up going back to the basement crying, ooh, ooh. That David guy with the pictures of Philippine-American couple, man, he was mean to me, Mommy. He made fun of my little peenie. So, well, I appreciate that, Star Fox. If you weren't going to do that, I appreciate that. Because that's just something I don't do here. We appreciate everybody. Is that right, Pat? My good friend Pat's in the house saying good evening, everybody. Hey there, Brother David. That's me, by the way. But Star Fox 402, thank you for coming in and being here then. That's great. I appreciate that. But usually, when you start seeing the N in the I, you know where it goes. And it's just not acceptable in my world. But Star, we appreciate you being here. Do you have a YouTube channel yourself? Are you a YouTuber or just a support channel? Pat says, that's right, buddy. And why are you screaming at me, Star Fox? You're yelling at me. No, I wasn't. Some of my best friends have black friends. Some of my best of God. You know, kind of a true joke is, are you really not racist when you have to say, I have a black friend? Isn't that indicating you're racist if you have to say, hey, I have a black friend? Mason, Fox, what do you mean about that? That's right. So isn't that kind of a racist statement when somebody says, well, you know, my buddy's black. That proves I'm not racist because I got a black friend. Isn't that kind of racist? Well, hey, I got a buddy that's Mexican or American. You know, what if I'm Chinese and I got an American friend? And I got to say, hey, I got an American friend over here. So just something to think about. You know, just thinking of, no, it's my surfing channel. Surfing channels are good. I hope that you gave a thumbs up for all the anguish you've already caused this evening. I got to find the Z. Man, a lot of letters involved. The core of racism, if you say something like that, I'm with you, right? I know where you're going, but That's why I was making fun of that, right? When you know you're racist, you say, hey, you know. So, but that's okay. I think a lot of people don't, to be honest, I think a lot of people really deep down aren't racist people. I just think sometimes they don't know how not to come off as racist, because even in today's world, we can't talk about race. It's a taboo subject. So even if you say anything about race, then you're kind of racist, you know? So it's kind of a hard subject to talk about. Lucy, Warren's World, good to see you. Lucy has a YouTube channel, don't you, Lucy? Don't you got a channel? Caitlin's back saying hello to everybody. You guys all say hello to each other. Because Lucy, if you have I think you have a channel, right? I want to turn you blue if you have a YouTube channel. Let me know. So that way you can drop your link. If you are blue and you got something you want to drop, you're always welcome to on my channel. Yes, back pain, yeah. You know, I was in the emergency rooms a couple weekends ago with chest pains due to my heart and lungs. But back is better today, to be honest. It's feeling pretty good. Not great, because I'm old and I'm fat and I'm lazy, you know, but I do look good in a shirt. So it's not too bad today. Not too bad today. But some days are worse than others, you know. Mason, how are you feeling? You feeling pretty good these days? We're going to make YouTube great again. I think YouTube can be made better. I think together we can bring back the heyday of YouTube. Yes, you do look good in the shirt, Brother David. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Lucy's in the house. I thought she had a YouTube channel, right? If I remember right, Lucy has a good YouTube channel. Am I right, Pat? I'll turn her blue so that when she comes back, she knows that she's welcome. Pat, how are you doing in your part of the world? I got to pay my toll pass today. We went out of state the other day and we took the toll, which I don't mind doing. I like the fact that if you're on the highway these days, you don't got to stop at the toll booth. You can just drive straight through. They capture your license plate and they send you a bill. I actually really like that. So I'm a big fan of that. So when we travel, I just woof, and then I wait a few weeks and I know I'm going to get a bill in the mail and I just pay the bill. Does anybody need me to pay anything for you while I'm here? I found this credit card on the ground somewhere. So be happy to pay all your bills on somebody else's credit card. Nice. Doing good? How's your health, Pat? What are they, expiration date? We got to go back to Tulsa, Oklahoma this weekend, I think. My wife wants to go to the Dillard's outlet store in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you guys, let me just say this. If you want to buy some really good quality shirts and pants, everything, women's clothes, men's clothes, if you can ever find a Dillard's outlet store, you would be shocked about how cheap things are. If you see on your live, well, you know I haven't slept. I have trouble sleeping lately. It's 5 a.m. in the morning, by the way. Woo-hoo! Man, you're a rock star, man. Uh-oh. Why are you having trouble sleeping? What's wrong with you? Is it medical? Are you bored? You got too many things on your mind? I mean, that's usually what happens to me when I can't sleep, you know, especially when I was still working, when I had a real job. Man, I just couldn't shut my brain off. It would be really hard to do that. So, yeah. But I will say this. There was a lot of times that, yay, my payment was successful. No, I don't want to save the password. I just want this. There's a really cool thing. I don't know. I know I'm talking a whole bunch about different things. Trying to say, Rockstar, I don't think so. I am a cooked man. You're a tired man at least, huh? All right. Paid. Okay. Now look, here's one financial tip for you guys, and I don't know if you do this, but let's just say you get a bill, right, in the mail. When you take your invoice, now that we pay everything electronically, here's what I do. I always, and I'm going to show you. I write a big E on it, and then I write today's date, like that. So I know that I e-paid on today's date, and then I have a code like for different banks. So which bank account I use, kind of like D or C or Z, I'll put a big Z or D or E on it. That way I know which bank the money came out of. Just a little tip for you. Then you can keep it and it's your receipt. And if you ever need to look it up, you can always go to your bank account because you remember which one it was. You paid it with Z bank account, so you can go in your bank account and find it. I think Lucy's hanging out in the background. I think maybe I scared her. Maybe I scared her. I scared a whole bunch of trolls earlier, Pat. I don't like it when the trolls aren't brave enough to stick around. I guess I'm the only YouTube channel out there where I get a bunch of trolls and then they realize I'm going to make them cry like little babies and they run off and hide. So, I don't know, Pat. I might, I made a boo-boo. I may not be a very good YouTube host. I make them cry. Oh, so what is today? Wednesday? Woo-hoo. Found something good on Amazon. Oh, what did you find? I've been working on something too. What did you find? Good hat. Oh, I've been looking for hats. Shit. Thank you for reminding me. I've been looking for hats. What I do, just so you guys know, I'm really bad about things, and so I have notebooks after notebooks where I make notes. I scribble notes down, things that I'm working on, things I'm thinking about, and I've been thinking about buying a new hat, but I keep forgetting. So I'll write down the word hat, which will help me remember I was going to shop for hats. I'm going to shop for some lighting, Pat, for my YouTube channel. So I've been looking at some lighting to try to make my setting here a little bit better. And when I do things, so I've been working on that a little bit too. Yeah, you know, yes. Mason, to be honest, if you don't want to take like melatonin, which I think works well, I'll tell you my secret to going to sleep. I do math. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but if I can't sleep, I will sit there and go over my budget, dollar to dollar, my paycheck, my utilities. I will do math in my head. I will look at, oh, if I was to buy a new car, it would cost me this much. The interest rate would be this much. And I think about that. I think about, wow, you know, how much can I save? What is 10% of this? If I put away 25%, if I invest 25%, add 10% in an interest, blah, blah, blah. I do math, and it puts me to sleep. It wears me out, and I go to bed. You can even dream about winning the lottery and how you would spend the money. So do math, do your books, go over all of your finances. Got to check something, be right back? All right. Well, Pat, if you find a nice hat, let me know. So, yeah. That, I mean, I know it sounds a little crazy maybe, but I do mathematics. I will literally, Guys, damn, Pat, you got 61 subscribers and you haven't even done a video yet. That's pretty impressive, buddy. So just think if you start getting into it. Pat, did you find a cool hat to buy or something? I'm supposed to be researching the cruise that my wife wants to go on. So I need to do that this coming week. So she finally sent me the link, so I know which one she wants to go on. I've bought a lot of hats over the years, but I've never bought one off Amazon. There's actually a couple of men's hat stores online that I buy hats from. Hats.com is one I use a lot. I'm looking for another stingy brim. Those are the hat, like the ones that do this. They have a small brim and they curl. You haven't found one? Star Fox is back in the house saying nice, appreciate ya. So I've been thinking about buying another hat because I don't know. But I'm looking for a stingy brim, maybe a 2.5 inch stingy brim is what I want. I want another one of those. So they're a type of fedora, by the way, if you didn't know. See if I can find them. But I don't want a wool one. I like straw hats because I sweat too much. I get hot easy. Star's asking, do you wear a Boston hat? I don't know what a Boston hat is. Let me look it up. Maybe it's under a different name. Boston hat? Like the Red Sox or something? I do have a Panama hat. You know, there's a Panama hat that has the word Boston in it. Original Boston Scully cap. Let's see, is this what you're talking about? Oh, flat caps. You're talking about a flat cap? Yes. I actually have some flat caps right here. Oh, Boston Red Sox? Nah. There's a Boston Scully company that sells flat caps. I do, Pat. I'm with you. Don't stress. Don't stress, Pat. Yeah, I don't wear baseball hats at all. I don't like baseball hats. I actually don't drink very much, believe it or not. I'm not a drinker. Just not really a drinker. You know, when I go on when I'm on the cruise ship, I might have a drink or two. We have drinks here like at Christmas and New Year's and at parties, but I can go, well, forever without drinking. So I'm just not a big drinker, to be honest. Lucy's back. Good to see you. Thank you. We turned you blue, by the way, if you didn't know. So if you want to drop your link, you're welcome to do that, Lucy. I need to get a new hat. I've been thinking about buying a new hat. Man, they seem so expensive. I haven't bought a brand new hat. Well, I brought one. I haven't ordered a hat in many years. So, man, they've gotten really pricey. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. The last hat I bought was at Dillard's Outlet Store in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Star's asking if I like Jugaloo. I don't know what that is. I can Google it, but I don't know what that is. Lucy, Pat's asking, how are things in your world? How are you been doing, Lucy? We appreciate you, by the way. Don't be shy on my channel. Nobody's going to mess with anybody on my channel. I poke their eyeballs out. Is that right, Pat? I saw I'm almost to 4,000 subscribers. I'm very excited about that. I'm finally getting to the point where I'm going to break 4,000 subscribers. Yeah, I know she knows you. Yep, because you've been over on Mike and see, it's actually Venus and Mike. I think he has his channel called Venus and Mike, which screws me up because it should be Mike and Venus because M comes before V. So it's kind of like, man, you know, a gathering. Okay, Star. No, I didn't know what that was, but apparently from the internet, it's a gathering of jugglers. Huh. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that existed, so thank you for that information. Is that what it is? Am I reading it right? Yeah. Fans of Insane Clown. Oh, the Juggalos are fans of an Insane Clown Posse, a rap group. So it's not about juggling after all. So they got a big old party. I got you. Yep, never heard of it. So I would bet you any money I'm not a fan of it because I've never heard of it. Lucy's a good friend. Yeah, I think so. I've only seen her a few times on Mike's channel. Always been, ooh, here's a nice hat for her. Ooh, that's too expensive. I need a new hat. But I'm so cheap. I hate spending money on myself. They do have a light tan one. Pat, are you going to think about buying yourself a hat? You think I'd be a good follower of the Insane Clown Posse? I really don't think I would because, to be honest, I really don't have patience for silliness. I don't know. I never liked Insane Clown Posse when they were out and they were popular. They weren't my cup of tea. So I don't think I would probably be a big fan of theirs. But that's okay. I don't hold it against anybody for wanting to be a fan of theirs. Just not my cup of tea. I don't like to be all hot and sweaty and gross, wearing paint, hanging out with a bunch of other smelly men not wearing shirts and dancing around like fools. I'm not that into men, you know. I'm old. I'm kind of subdued in life. I like to take it easy. You're too young and I'm too old. How's that, Star? But yeah, I don't think they're my cup of tea. So I think we're going to go shopping this weekend. I can't buy myself a new hat because I think I got to buy my wife a new fancy dress. She's going to some kind of party in October. That's kind of like a formal girl party, and I don't want to go to it. So the girls are all dressing up in fancy dresses, and David doesn't want to go, so David's not going. But my wife wants to go, so I think she's thinking we need to go and get her a pretty dress. Do you like Juice World? Juice is as like in steroids? Is that what a juice is? I like juice that you drink, apple and orange juice, pineapple. I really like the Four Season one they have in the Philippines. But if you're talking about steroids, never really got into that. You got me hooked, Brother David, on tropical shirts. Good. See, you're part of the club. Part of the club. That's why I sent you a shirt, so you can be a part of the club, man. Nah, he's a rabber. I don't know what that is. Let me Google that. What's that? A rabber. So you young people know all this fancy stuff. Rabber. Well, the good thing is tropical shirts are cheap. They're easy to find. I find them at Goodwill and secondhand stores. Is there, Mason, is there any other word that goes with this? With rabber? Because when I Google rabber, it's coming up sheds and buildings, nothing else. And he is dead guy. It's a rabber dead guy. So, the cool thing is you can wear tropical shirts about anywhere. That's one thing I like about that, Pat, is I got really nice ones and casual ones. And I got ones that I can dress up and put a suit jacket with. So, maybe they're embossed with tropical stuff and light colored, and I could put a suit jacket with it if I wanted to. Hudson, I'm wearing a tropical shirt too. Good. Join in the club, Hudson. Thank you for that. I'm going to show this Star Fox. I want to talk about it. Star Fox says that only two types of people wear Hawaiian shirts. Gay, I guess he's assuming homosexual people, and big fat party animals. Well, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with being gay in the world. If that's what you are, that's what you are. So to chastise somebody for being gay or not being gay isn't cool. I think what it does, it shows that your insecurity and your immaturity to try to label people like that. Because it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Does it matter if somebody's black, white, or purple? Does it matter if they're gay or not? No, it doesn't matter. So, now, big fat people seem to wear a lot of tropical shirts. I'm a big fat guy. I'm not really a party animal, but I'll take that. No Juicy Type Juicy World song on YouTube. Okay, I'll have to Google that, man, because I've never heard of that one. And I am not a big fat party animal. Well, good. I don't encourage anybody to be a party animal. We're too old. It's a Simpsons reference. O.J. Simpson or the cartoon Simpsons. Homer said it. I've never seen, I don't watch much, what's it called? Oh, the Simpsons. I've never really watched them, to be honest. I never really had time to watch them. And I found it kind of boring, to be honest. The show you meant, Homer said it on the Simpsons show. I'm old. We're also Brother Day. That's right. So Pat, the key is your color palette for tropical shirts. You kind of got to get a vibe of what looks good on you. You might look good in the tan vibes. I kind of think I look good in the blue vibes. But I got a lot of tan ones too. It sucks, doesn't see it. Mason says, all right, I won't waste my time on it. So that's what you got to do is find your palette, is what I do. And of course, as you guys all know, I try to match hats, watches, and shirts all together. So I look cool and profiling. Styling and profiling like Ric Flair. You young people know who Ric Flair was? He could make YouTube great again if he wasn't 80 years old. Only the first, how many seasons do they have? My God, 10 seasons, holy crap. And how many, I guess I would look at it this way. How many storylines can you have with the same group of people? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a lot of these sitcoms, they have to bring in new people, right? New cast members to have storylines. Otherwise, when you got, 5, 6, 7 cast members, how many stories can you have with them? That's why somebody new has to come in for season 10 or season 4. So, it's kind of like on Cheers or The Sopranos. Every season, a new character came in that was kind of the bad guy and irritated Tony. So every season, there was a new guy that came in, and the season was kind of warped around them and their stuff. Scott Baio has a channel? No, I didn't know that. Huh. I don't blame him. And, look, social media is a big deal. It's a big supplement for a lot of actors. I know I'm in a limo riding, wheeling, dealing, jet flying, SOB. There you go, buddy. That's Ric Flair, the man, the myth, the legend. Woo! Nature boy. Well, that's pretty cool. Interesting fact, I don't know if you guys know the little guy, the little man, the little guy who was on the Games of Thrones. I can't remember his name. He's a great actor. But I saw an interview with him that says apparently there's a TikTok channel or an Instagram account that is about him that he doesn't own or have nothing to do with, that has like 10 million followers, but it has nothing, he's not a part of it in any way. And, but 10 million followers. You remember Ric Flair? Yeah, I feel sorry for Ric Flair. Ric Flair, he's old now. You guys all remember that Hulk Hogan died recently. But Ric Flair, man, he's a rough-looking old guy from all the drinking. Younger men than me have more energy than me. How come? Well, I don't know. Younger men, younger than me, and have more energy. How come? Well, they're younger than you, they should have more energy. If they're older than you and they have more energy, okay. So if they're older than you and they have more energy, it's probably because of this. Because I got a friend who's almost 90 that can do work like you can't believe. And why is because all his life he was that way. He was busy all his life. Farmer, rancher, did stuff. People that are busy is why they got more energy. The busier you are when you're young, the busier and the more energy you have when you're older. Chef Lawson's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? Everybody say hello to Chef. You got any videos up, my friend? Good to see you. Thank you. What are you cooking today? What's going on? How's school? So keep that in mind. It's about habit. If you get in the habit of being a little lazy, then it's hard to get out of that habit. But if you get in the habit of getting up and doing things every day, all your life, then that's the way your life will be for the rest of your life. So we are, when we get old, what we are as young people. So I think my energy level is about the same as it's always been, since I was a teenager to now. Now, physically, my body's in bad shape, but, my desire is there. I'm doing pretty good, but hating algebra. Star says, yes, chef. Why are you hating algebra? Why? I hated math too, but I've used math in a lot of students when they take math classes say, hey, I will never, ever, ever use this. Well, don't say that. I said that when I was young in college, and there were several times that I had to use some algebra. But let me tell you the secret. I want to tell you the secret of math. What you need to do is understand the language of mathematics. So you need to understand the definitions of the words. What is an inverse number, right? So you need to look up what an inverse number is. The order of operation is extremely important. You need to understand the order of operation. But the key is to understand what is meant by not the numbers necessarily, but by what the words in the instructions are telling you. Or when the teacher's teaching you, what is that word that she means? That says, got to get cell phone stand, selfie stick to do my channel. All right, well, just get you a cell phone stick, a selfie stick. That's all you need to do. You don't need to invest a whole lot of money as you go along. We probably invested way too much money in YouTube that we don't use. I mean, I got a gimbal sitting there. I haven't used it in 3 years. I brought it out and charged it up so I can figure out a way to use it. Lorelei's giving me a hard time because I never use it. So I'm trying to find a way to use it. I just love the basic math, not the calculus one. I agree. I'm really good at basic math too. I always was. I could put 2 and 2 together and come up with 18 pretty quick. So yeah, Pat, keep it simple. Don't go crazy. Just keep it simple. But a selfie stick is good. You know, one that you can stand up and that will stand up and good quality. That's all you need to do. One that's you can hold in your hand and do things. You'll be all right. Math is easy. I can do it in my head. All right. Simple. Yes, yes. So that's all. It's kind of like, I mean, I got way too much shit. I got like a GoPro that I never use. I'm going to sell that because I hate the GoPro. So I need to get it out and sell it. It's somewhere in here. But we got a gimbal down here. Let's see. I don't use it because I keep forgetting and, you know, but these are good. You can put it on a tripod. The only good thing is if you're up and talking, it can kind of swivel and follow you and all this. So they're good, but like I said, I haven't used it much. I used it early on in my career, but haven't used it much since. You're good at estimating. I've been selling pot for years. All right. It's an easy job. I love my teacher, but she's making a lot more lines than I think we should be. I don't know if I will use 0.42 times 1 equals 6, stuff like that. I don't think I'll ever use it for, you'd be surprised. You'll be surprised, and I mean this. I know your math teacher would tell you that, but as an old guy who taught college, was a private consultant, did a lot of environmental work, fishes a lot, does YouTube, you're going to use a whole lot more math than you think. You just are. Math in college, but not other than, you'll be surprised. So you like your teacher? Are you trying to say your teacher is hot? Is that what it is? It always helps if your teacher's good looking. Woohoo! Pat says, I've been having a lot of Filipinos checking my channel. Soon I get things in order, I'll go live and get my things done. Nice. Woo, it's kind of hot in here today. That's good, Pat. You know, the Filipinos are always looking for new YouTube channels to see who's single. So that's a good thing. Did you get the one I sent you on Facebook? Friend of Hillbillies. Appreciate that, Pat. Send them over. I'm happy to have them. Happy to meet them, happy to help them, and all of that. I thought I sent you somebody on Facebook Messenger, Pat. Did I send you somebody, a girl, over that I wanted you to go and say hi to? No, I like how she's a teacher, but I got to go because I'm waking up at 5:40 a.m. in the morning. Couldn't stay long, but all right, my friend, I appreciate you. Get some rest and don't stress, all right? Did you use AI to chat with like Gemini or ChatGPT? Helps a lot. No, I don't. I don't believe in that. I don't think you ought to use AI to help you solve problems. I think you ought to use your brain to solve problems. I think you ought to do it yourself. Same thing with your math, your science, anything. I think you need to really do it yourself. If you want to write an email, write it in your own words. Be yourself. Because what happens down the road if AI gives out and you don't know how to write an email or how to form a sentence or how to communicate effectively? What's going to happen? Then you're going to be left in the lurches and looking like a silly person because you can't even do the basics. So don't let AI do things for you. You do them yourself. And of course, the other thing you got to realize, it's always better when something's done with a personal touch. So if you, like sending thank you notes, if you send a thank you note and you sign your own name and say, hey, we really appreciate you, it goes a long ways versus just a thank you card that has a rubber stamp on it. I did? All right. Yes, all right. I remember now. Okay, good. Don't use AI. That's right. You're right, Brother David. Yes. Trust my try is good for real. I don't use it email or knowledge or nah. I don't want to use it. I don't need it. I don't really want to. I don't know. I guess I use it a tiny bit when I make videos. My software that I own, the software that I use to edit videos, it has some AI features in it. And I might come up with a title, like David wear hats, and I'll put it in, and it'll give me a whole bunch of suggestions about how to rewrite the title. So I guess I do that. I do some AI pictures on the software. I go in and type what I want to see or what I'm looking for, and then I hit the button and wait a little bit, and I get a whole bunch of images of things relative. It's kind of like the video I released today was about the hot air balloon ride I took my wife on years ago. Where did it go? And the thumbnail is a AI picture. I told it I wanted to see a beautiful, what did I say? Beautiful Filipina riding through the sky in a hot air balloon. And it came up with that image. So I saved it and used it. So I guess I am using AI. I heard a lot of people lost their jobs from AI, lost their homes too. Wow. Well, I don't disagree. I think AI will take over certain facets, of things. I do. I think it's sad. And what I don't like is dumbing down society. So I think it's kind of like a lot of people don't know how to do math. They have to use a calculator, right? A lot of people are horrible at spelling and they just use a spell check. So it's kind of like, there's the help, Billy. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. How are you? So I think society is dumbing down. And I think that's something we should be very worried about. There's definitely a paradigm shift going on in society. And the more AI dependent we get, the stupider and stupider the young people are going to be. And eventually nobody's not going to know how to do anything. I can't even speak. Old school pen and paper. There's the Craigster from Australia. A-E-I-O-U. Woo-hoo. So, how are you, Craig? How's it going? Everybody say hello to Craig. Everybody say hello to Hillbilly. So I think we are getting to the point where our society is getting dumber and dumber. When I was still teaching college, I started to see that. I saw a trend, and I've been out of teaching for 10 plus years. I saw a trend where the young people didn't want to learn anymore. They wanted technology to do it for them. Craig saying hello to Pat and all. Craig had some new videos out the other day. You guys need to go check out, by the way. So, my daughters and her gave them tablets. Daughters do it, use to teach. Yeah. Well, you got to teach them. Look, it's what I was saying earlier. You might be able to get away with using AI in certain situations, but if you really can't write an email or express your thoughts, then I think there's a real problem with that. I think people need to be able to communicate. I really believe what's that movie, Idiocracy? Is that the movie where everybody gets so dumb in a few hundred years that that one guy becomes the smartest guy in the world? Yeah, it depends on how it's used and why it's used for. The problem is this. When something becomes easier, it's human nature to go the easy way. So understand that. It's our nature to go the easy route, to go down the river versus up the river, to do the least amount of work. It's just the way it is. E-paper tablets, right on the e-papers. Yeah, they're cool. I've seen those. Thanks, Pat. I'm already at yours. Cheers, Hill. Hail, cheers to everybody. Yeah, we used a lot of smart screens and whiteboards and stuff when I was teaching. I know technology's way better now. But I taught hands-on. I liked teaching hands-on. I was one of those instructors. I didn't write on the whiteboard a lot. I had a few notes up there, but you didn't find me up there scribbling. You found me sitting on the desk talking to my students, working with them, going through the book, looking at different problems, doing hands-on stuff. Now, welcome, Brother Craig. Nice. Ice in the house. In the house. In the house. Oh, man. I'm still trying to figure out what mobility scooter I can't afford to buy. And working on that. Lorelei sent me the link to her cruise next year. And she wanted to know all right. I need y'all's advice. Now, I can't tell you how old she is. I do have TikTok. I dance naked on TikTok for coins. I do have TikTok. I don't know what it's called. What is my TikTok called? I have TikTok. You see a lot of naked dancing on there of me. What am I? It's called Pack. Here, I'll put the TikTok on there. Pack 0969. That's my TikTok. Yeah, a lot of dancing. Woo, baby. 4-pack. Yeah, ooh, that's good. Shirtless pack. But, all right, I can't tell you how old my wife's going to be next year. But next year is one of those milestone birthdays that we've all gone through and us guys don't give a rat's ass about. But my wife has always celebrated her birthday. She finds birthdays to be very, very important. She's kind of mad at me because she didn't have a good one last year or the year before. So keep that in mind. Cloud Notes Slim, 1013 digital notebook, e-link tablet, e-paper notepad for ebook reading and writing. Wow. I wonder how much all of that cost, Hillbilly. Dancing is good, not a bad, yeah, but I'm naked. And I can't get anybody to give me money. I don't understand that. All these other people are on the internet dancing half naked. I'm dancing full naked, and I can't get anybody to give me money, and I don't understand it. It's just not fair. So we got this big party, or this party that she wants to have. Now, how much of a budget should we allocate? And I know this has a lot of variables in it, but just randomly tell me, Craig, everybody out there, your wife is turning a certain age, and it's a milestone, and they think it's a gigantic deal, and you gotta let them have a big shindig or whatever they want to do. How much of a budget would you throw out there? 3K? Okay, all right. Is that Australian dollar or American dollar? Okay? My wife might like you, Craig. So that's what I was working on today. Canadian dollars. Okay, well, it's still pretty good, not bad. So how much money would you say, all right, you can have this? Bad thing is I got to do it again in 10 years, every 10 years, I guess. So, I mean, on the other time we went to a big trip somewhere. I think we did a cruise or something. We took a big trip. So like every 10 years, So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Pat, what do you think? How much? Hillbilly? Come on, give me some numbers. Yeah, I got 114 followers on TikTok. Can't believe nobody wants to give me money for dancing naked. Ah, all right. My flashing lights came on. I like that, Craig. Not sure at the moment, Brother David. All right. Well, I decided 2,500 USD. So 2,500 USD, and because she's debating whether to do a party at the house, whether she should rent a venue. So what I did today after going through all of this, I decided, here's your budget, 2,500 USD. You figure it out from there. However you want to allocate your funds, you just do it. What do you guys think of that? Is that a good plan? I'm just going to let her allocate it however she sees fit and not worry about it from there. Now, I don't know. What I don't know, guys, is if that means, including catering, including food, everything, $2,500. I don't know what that means. I don't think that means her birthday gift from me. So take away the birthday gift, which I don't know what it will be. So just $2,500 for the party, including catering, Craig. Everything, yes. So what do you think, Craig? Is that good? And she's not. And what she's looking at is making most of the food, but ordering some of the food. So she won't have the whole thing catered. And that sounds good to you, Pat? Now, I may go ahead and pay for the cake separately. I may do the cake separately. I don't know. I haven't decided about that, if the cake is involved, because the cake could probably be a couple $100, I would think. So I may pay for that separately and just give her the $2,500 to let her pay for the food, the decorations, the venue, or whatever she wants to spend it on. You're thinking around that price, Pat? Good. So that's what I've been working on. But I kind of like the concept of going, all right, 2,500, and you figure it out. You don't need, if you want my advice, because you know how it is, guys. Our women folk do not like our advice. You know, I sit down with her today when she's talking about this, and I'm analyzing, because she's like, well, should I have it at the house or should I rent a venue? And I'm like, I'm over here analyzing this, and go, well, if you do this, what about, you know, all of this? And she's like, I don't want to hear any of that. I'm like, fine. Filipina Bai is in the house. Good evening. How are you, young lady? Filipina, one of my wife's 10-year birthdays coming up next spring. And I know you're in the Philippines, so it's hard to equate. So, but I don't know, maybe Craig can help me translate. But I wonder from your perspective, if you thought, let's say, do you think, Craig, you guys, what do you guys think? Do you think $2,500 USD would be about $500 in the Philippines or a little more? So, Filipina Bai, my question is, I'm going to give my wife $2,500 to have her big birthday in the spring. What do you think? You think that's enough or not enough? So I think in the Philippines, how much would that be? And I don't mean equal to equal dollars. I don't mean pesos to dollar. What I mean is equivalent of $2,500 in the Philippines. Is that more like, you know, $500 into pesos or $600 or $700? Because I know it wouldn't be, you know, so that's what I'm wondering. 3.9K Austria, yeah, see, that's good. Young Miss Bai says she's okay. Good to hear. Anything exciting going on for you, young lady? Are you doing a live stream later? You want anybody to come check you out later? You want to drop your link? Craig, you can drop your link, remember. If you're blue, you don't have to ask. You can drop. I haven't heard from Henry in a long time. Young Bai, has anybody heard from Henry lately? I haven't seen him in a few weeks. So, but I just wonder, Miss Bai, if I gave you, Craig, what would that be? Did somebody, hey, Pat, are you still there? What's the conversion rate right now in the Philippines? I know I can't look. I got a thing on my phone, but I can't look it up because I'm on my phone. Can anybody tell me how much $500 is in the Philippines? Let me see if I can pull up a calculator real quick. So $500 in American money would be 28,500 pesos. Got me a link? Okay. Okay, let me give it a minute because I haven't had anything come through yet. Well, I know it depends on the exchange rate. I get that. But what I mean is, you know, it's more not about the exact exchange rate. It's about the entrenched value. Could you put on the same type of party for $500 American money and or 28,000 pesos as you could for $2,500 in America? Could you put on the equivalent type of party? That's kind of what I wonder. You know what I mean? Pat says, I'm cooking at the moment. All right, what are you cooking, Pat? So that's kind of what I wonder. Because right now it says, oh, let me look at today's rate. Yeah. So you kind of know what I mean, right, Craig? You know? Corn on the cobs and the porky chops. Man. So, yeah. All right, so you think it might be? Because I remember when we had my birthday in the Philippines, we didn't go crazy, but we had the lechon and all the crap catered. We had everything catered. We had it at the house. We didn't have a venue. And we only had about 10 or 15 people, maybe 20. And I don't think we paid more than a few $100s. Yeah, I am, Pat. I'm talking about not necessarily the currency rate change. I'm talking about more about the entrenched value. If I took $500 in the Philippines, living in the Philippines, if I took 28,000 pesos, could I blow that and have the same type of party I would for $2,500 in America? That's kind of what I mean, if that makes sense. And I think, you probably could. Craig says that's the key, 50 people versus 100. Correct. And that's kind of what I asked the wife today. Well, how many people are you just inviting everybody in the community? And how many of them are going to really show up? Are you just going to invite your friends, the ones that are truly your friends? And we all know, being married to Filipinas, they're going to invite the whole entire world because it's part of a bragging and showing off thing. Versus like a lot of us guys, if I had a birthday party, and I don't like having birthday parties. But if I had to have a birthday party, there'd probably be 10 people here, period. You know what I mean? But the girls are gonna wanna show off. And so they're gonna wanna invite everybody in the God's creation, and those people that haven't even spoke to her in years are gonna come out of the woodwork so they can eat and pig out. There we go. Link to the video. Hillbilly, if you... Oh, here it is. So you want me to check out the video, right, Hillbilly? The waves that carry your worries away, right? It's nice. It's pretty. Reminds me of the Philippines. Oh, I know. They love to eat, whether they like you or not, right? They're going to come out of the woodwork and eat. I like the video, by the way. I love that mountain. So, and I'm okay with it because I know that's kind of the culture and the thing. But I just kind of post it, she gets stars. Okay, I will do that. Let me do that. Give it a... Whoop. Hang on. I'll post it on my thingamajiggy. All right, I got it. I posted it. Hanging washing. Can't reach the line. Well, I've been there. Try to feed a villa with 500 kids. Yes. Yeah, we've actually done that. We've actually done some, every New Year we give away, God. I think last New Year we gave away village of 500 kids on a birthday. Yeah, I can imagine, right? We've done that. We've actually sponsored a niece or nephew's birthday, and it turned out to be a gigantic event for the community. A lot of the kids. We did a biscotti dinner, and then we also every year do the rice for the kids. So I think last year we gave out like 550 pounds, or kilos, not pounds, kilos of rice. So, but I'm with you. It's kind of like to come out. And I don't mind that. Look, the weird thing is, I know I'm a fat guy, but I really don't eat a whole lot. And so I'm really big on sharing food. I don't want it to go to waste. And when we were living in the Philippines and we would have things, man, we'd call the neighbors up all the time and have them come get the food. Cake and Jollibee and whatever. We'd share with the neighbors because we just don't eat Yes, they love the ice cream. I know. The good thing is the ice cream in the Philippines is cheap. If you buy Filipino ice cream in America, it's going to run you like $11 to $12. You know, it's up to $15 in America, but you can pick it up there for what? You know, two or three, yeah, about 200 pesos, right? So yeah, it's pretty cheap in the Philippines, the same ice cream. Yeah, that's what I mean, real cheap, right? And so we would buy the ice cream and get the big cakes and the food, and we'd share. I know, it's crazy. Yeah, I think last year when we did a biscotti feast, where Lorelai's friend lives, Karen, I think we were able. Now we only fed about 75 children. That's all that was in that little community. You know, the little, I don't know, hillbilly, how you want to kind of, you know, the neighborhood. So they had about 75 kids and some adults, but I don't think we fund. You guys gave us money. We had people give us money to do it, and I don't think we spent more than a couple $100 doing all of that. And I know that we made sure that we kind of fed it. We had plenty of food. Then we give them their food. Yeah, yeah, I agree. We do the same. We do bags of rice. We were doing kilos of rice at New Year's. I got a good comment in the other channel. I look like Ned's Philippines Dreams channel. Wow, Ned still has a channel, does he? I haven't checked. I didn't know Ned has I didn't know he was still active. And it's what, what does he call his? Yeah, Philippine Dreams. Yep. 54,000 subscribers. Man, I wish I was there. Oh, he still is active. I see he posted something 2 weeks ago. So that's good, Pat. That's good. I think it's good to reach out and to visit the other channels. You do. You have a great name, Pat. Good choice, Pat. We cooked all day, rent a karaoke machine. Nice. Yeah, the good thing is us being in America, hillbilly, us being here, Mark, we didn't have to cook anything. Our friends in the Philippines did all the work. We just spent all the money. We just donated the money and watched them. And they did all the work. I like that. So, yes. No, it is. Yeah, I see that he's still alive and kicking. Here's a good guy, good channel. I'll go watch some of his stuff later. I wish I could have a channel like his, but for some reason, you know. They do. They love, here's what I found is, they do love to cook, you know, but they also like to be in charge, is one thing I have found. They like to be the boss lady. You know what I mean? Our friend Karen, which I trust, she's one of the few people that I truly trust in the Philippines. You know, she's going to do what she says she's going to do. But I do recognize the fact that she really enjoys being head boss of the other Filipinas doing these projects that we get involved with when people give us money on our channel. Because we use the stuff on our channel, we give it away. And you guys don't realize that, but we give a lot of money away to the Philippines. And we don't brag, I'm not trying to do that, but I just think it's funny. I recognize how, what we'd call being puffed up, when, and it's fine. I just find it's funny. That's it. That's what we do. Look, we did school supplies. You know, we were able to give, 75 kids school supplies this year. And I just let her be in charge. You know, I told her, figure it out, or Lorelai did. Just figure, what I do is this. My job is to build them up. Like when we did the school supplies, when my wife and her were talking about this, I got on there just for a second or two and said, hey, Karen, I know you can do it. I trust what you're going to do. So you just let us know and we'll make it happen. But I trust you. You know, that's my job. When we do the rice, I simply say, look, folks, I trust you guys. You know, and as the foreigner, I think it gives them like credibility or props or something when the foreigner guys go, hey, I trust you. You know what you're doing. Dennis! I gave away lots, most involuntary. You did. You gave away 120 pounds, right? Isn't that what you said? 120 pounds, but you felt better? Or you lost 120 pounds and felt better? So Dennis is in the house. Hello, brother Dennis. So, but that's what we do. And I appreciate everybody helping us with that. But that's one thing I've learned is to puff them up, to set them up for success. You know, so. Dennis, how are you, buddy? But that's good, man. That is outstanding. Dennis, I got a question for you. I need your advice. Lorelai is going to be having one of those milestone birthdays next year, which of course, if you talk to a Filipina, every year is a milestone birthday. But this is one of those milestone birthdays. And so I've decided to give her a budget for her birthday party. How much money, Dennis, would you recommend I give Lorelai for her milestone birthday party? Hello, Dennis from the Craigster, the legend, CP, that's right. Craig in the house. Take my advice and don't use your advice. I know, I don't plan on using it. So today we were working on it, you know, because it's many months away and Lorelai's pre-planning. Wow. Wait until Halloween. Always give out 50 bags of candy and then 10 out and bags for all of the kids. Wow, they do love chocolate. I know that. Well, we're going to have another big Halloween party here apparently. Apparently Laura, here at our house in America, her and her friends are already planning a Halloween party at the house. Can you imagine that? And then we got a baby shower and a Christmas party to do this year. So we got a busy year. Can anybody help me and make me move? Find me a place to live. So yeah, that's cool, man. That is nice, buddy. Really nice. They do love chocolate. And when we go there, when the kids were young, we did that. We would buy those big bags of Hershey's and all of that stuff. And we'd take it over and let them just eat themselves to death, which is fine. But Lorelai told me the other day that her and the girls are already planning their Halloween party. Pat, Dennis, Hillbilly, you guys should all come to the Halloween party this year. You guys are all welcome. Everybody's welcome to the Halloween party. Even Craig, but I know Craig won't come because he's too far away. But yeah, we're going to do the Halloween party again, apparently here at the house. And then I think we're doing the Christmas party here. Now, she has a couple of other Christmas parties she's supposed to go to, but I'm not going to go to those. I don't want to go to those. And then we'll do a quiet New Year's. And then mid-spring, our friends are having a baby. And then in December, we're doing a baby shower for those friends here in America. And then the birthday cruise. And then I'm going to die and faint because I will be broke. They say to my fiance when Kana, I can't pronounce that, you know, going to give out Halloween outfits. Kids dress up, I don't dress, that's funny. The kids, you know, and the weird thing is, I guess, it hasn't been that long that the Philippines has started to really embrace Halloween, you know what I mean? Because I know they have a lot of superstitions and they get spooked really easy, which I think is a lot of fun. I like to torture people. So I know I would take advantage of scaring the living shit out of the ones in the Philippines. Mason, I live currently in the United States. Yes, the weather is better in the Philippines. Yes and no, the cost of living is better. I think that's a really hard question to answer on a macro scale because the cost of living is different for everybody. So on a micro scale, for me, it's not. Made that mistake once. Let's go for ice cream, 35 cones later. Yes. Yeah, Craig's a baller, man. I know. We've been there too, Craig. Craig, maybe you can answer Mason's question. Hillbilly? I know what hillbilly thinks. And what I'll say is based on, for me, the cost of living, is it cheap for somebody like me to live in the Philippines? Yes. But do I have everything that America can offer? Absolutely not. So, and I don't mean to sound shitty about this, but if you're in a situation where you can afford to live a decent life in America and travel and maybe not, be suffering every day, then I don't know how not to be shitty about that, then I don't know, it's kind of better to live here, if that makes sense. Where she lives in the province, the village has no running water, pours, they love you when you do it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But if that kind of makes sense. So if we don't live the good life in America, we don't. I don't think, but we live better than a lot of people in America, and we are very blessed because of that, or for that, or whatever. So to be able to do that, we're blessed. So we don't need to financially live in the Philippines. We can financially go back and forth and travel other places. Healthcare is more important than living in the Philippines. Between my heart failure, lung failure, kidney failure, and Lorelai's genetic issues with her family, it may not be the smartest thing long-term for us to live there. That's kind of what I mean. But, if you're in great health and you want to live on the cheap and you can be happy with the lifestyle in the Philippines, then absolutely. Like that, Pat? So, I don't know what anybody else thinks about what I said, but Pat's dropping a link there. I think 4 billion people make less than $5 per day. I know, and I'm one of the 4 billion people because my wife takes it all, Dennis. My health care is free in the USA, stay for 6 months and 6 months, right. So, but you get what I mean. So, the other thing for us is Lorelai likes working. She likes having a corporate job. She thinks it's cool. She enjoys it. We enjoy all the freedoms and the first world things we have in America versus not having first world things in the Philippines. So I think, and maybe I'm just, I don't know, Dennis, what am I? Dennis knows. Dennis can explain what I am, bad or good, he can explain it. But I think everybody that wants to live there should go live there. Absolutely. I think you got to be realistic about living there and realize that it's not Canada, it's not America, it's not Germany, it's not Australia, that it is a different place, a different world. It has a lot of great things, but it also has its limitations. And if you suffer health issues, like myself and others, then I don't know if I recommend it based on the health care. Yeah, Pat says, that's right, sure, it's a different world. It is. But it's the same thing like living in Mexico or Brazil or Honduras or Sudan, or I don't know about Sudan, but you know what I mean. It's the same thing. It's a different lifestyle. It's a different culture. It's a different way of seeing things and doing things. And I don't think I'm egotistical, maybe egotistical, but yep, heart doctors, yep. But the problem is, if it goes bad in the Philippines, you're screwed. Because we did the same living there. I did all the stuff right before we left. I took every precaution, got plenty of medicine because I knew I couldn't get it in the Philippines. So you can mitigate your damages or your risk. You can mitigate your risk. But you just never know. For me, and I'll tell you guys, if you're not, I don't know, I think you got to have the right, I've talked a lot about this. Mexico's a first world country compared to oh really? All right. Now, I would agree with Mexico City, right, didn't it? I've never been anywhere but Mexico. Well, I've been to the cruise ports. But other than that, I don't know. But I can see that, Dennis. Still in Colombia, Dennis? That's where the women are. That's why he's there. My doctor checking me since mini stroke, plus my heart doctor. I go see my heart doctor in 2 weeks. Good, Pat. I'm glad you're going to the doctor. Yep, you got to do that. And the doctors are comparable to Canada and the U.S. in Mexico. I believe that too, Dennis. I don't think the doctors are bad I don't think the doctors are bad in the Philippines. I think the medical system in the Philippines is bad. But do I think the individual peoples, do I think their knowledge is bad? No, I think the system is bad. And the older I get, the older Lorelai gets, and then of course, you got to look at the fact that, and I know I've said this, but once you've been to the Philippines, you've been to the Philippines. There's not a whole lot of difference between island after island after island after island. So it's all pretty much the same thing. So once you've been to one place, you've kind of been to all of them. I know there's some difference in chocolate hills and waterfalls and things like that, and different beaches that you can go to. But and for us, it's such if we lived in Australia, right, where Craig is, now maybe flip-flopping back and forth on a regular basis, what is it, a 5-hour flight from Australia, Craig? Mexico is vast in quality in a lot of areas. Oh, good. Now, but Mexico right now hates America, so I can't go there, Dennis. Manila has great hospitals. I would agree. And what is it, Makati? The Makati area? I find the Philippines people overall are daft. I don't remember what daft meant. Daft. I don't remember what you mean by that. I know we've talked about it, but my brain. I find them kind of unmotivated. I find them not passive aggressive, just passive. So it's like there's no hurry to go anywhere or do anything. Tap a day pays. Yep, a day's pay. Yeah. Okay. All right, Hillbilly. Foolish, lacking good sense. Yeah, there you go. Good sense is one. Can describe ideals, actions that are considered irrational and absurd. Nice word for stupid. Okay, yeah, I get that. I don't think, here's what I think is, I think they're highly uneducated. I think they're highly unexposed to the real world. I think they're extremely unexposed to their own potential. They are, what are some of those words? Only hear what they want to hear? Hey, have you met my wife, Craig? Have you met my wife? How do you know that? Have you talked to my wife? I think they could be smart, but for some reason, that gene, that switch, doesn't trigger them to go, hey, I want to learn everything about everything. That's what bothers me, to be honest. A lot of them don't want to turn that educational switch on. And that drives me a little crazy because, I was talking to my brother about this the other day. There's a lot of things going on in the world that my wife works. I mean, a lot of huge changes going on because of some things that have happened in the industry. And I was telling him, man, I've been reading all about it, been keeping up with it. And I've been telling my wife what's going on. She could care less. And the difference, I was talking to my brother, I said, look, when I was in my field, when I was an expert in my field, every new thing that came out from the government, I read, I studied, I learned it. So that way I could keep up on my expertise and hopefully get promoted or make more money or to grow or to learn and to become. The Philippine people, I keep telling Lorelai, and she's like, oh, and I'm like, I'm telling you, if you learn these things or listen to these things, when people at your company are talking about it, one, you know what they're talking about. Two, you can participate in the conversation. And that might elevate your standing in the company and allow you to move up and get promoted easier. Dennis agrees? Well, I think there's a difference between being, so you think the younger generation's not that way? Mark, is that what you're saying? And so why aren't they that way? What has changed? Or why are the young people not dumb, for the lack of a better word? What'd you call them? Let's see. British informal term meaning silly, foolish, or lacking good sense. Dennis says dumb. Can describe ideals, actions, and consider irrational and absurd. The college? Well, it seems like everybody, if you go to a Jollibee, the person taking, your money has a college degree in hospitality in the Philippines. So I don't, being as an old educator, I don't know if college in the Philippines works. It's kind of like an extended high school. I don't know. I don't know. I wish they had more gumption. Everybody says the smart thing the Philippine government did was free college. Well, yes, free college is good. School is very important. Everywhere. School is very important. And I'm a big fan of it. That's why we did school supplies. Because I think school gets you out of poverty. I'm a big believer in this, But what I'll say is, even if you have a college degree in the Philippines, you're still making a minimum wage. So what they've done is watered down college. They watered down education. So here's an example. If I'm a performer and it costs you $200 to buy a ticket to come watch me, that's an entrenched value. Wow, I got to pay $200 to go see this entertainer. Now, if I say it only costs $1, then that shows that I have a whole lot less value as an entertainer, because then anybody can come and see me. So it's kind of like that with education and any other training. Wish USA would give poor free. I agree. Well, I don't think they ought to give. We're with you on the illegal thing. That's stupid. I don't think they ought to give away free college. I think people ought to got to work for college. I don't think it ought to be for free. I think you ought to work your way through college. Whether it's a trade school, which I highly recommend, versus college. College is a joke. But I think you should have to earn your way through college. Not in reasonably priced, but you can't just go for nothing. They seek out sponsors. Yes, I hate that word sponsor. I will tell everybody this. I absolutely hate the word sponsor in terms of the Philippines. Great description, then I would pay you $150. Yeah. Okay. $1.50 to come see me entertain. Woohoo! I'm getting higher up there in my quality. Yes, and I hate that. I hate it. It pisses. I don't like it, and I've had problems with it because it's begging. Just ask. You know, I don't like it. I don't like how it's used. How it's used like a crutch. You know, I got to get a sponsor for everything. Well, why don't you budget it and work it and plan it? You know, my wife never uses the word sponsor because she knows I don't like it. So we don't do that here for anything. Dennis says, I hate no budget. I love no budget. I teach all of you guys that most important word to know in the Philippines, 2 words, no budget. So when they're talking about, hey, I want a sponsor, I'm looking for a sponsor. Well, the thing you need to know is no budget. No allowance, that's right. Get all day, there's sponsors for college to enroll my eyes. I know, and we sponsor people too. We pay for education too. I don't know, guys. I just have a problem with the system. They say it all the time. I know, Dennis. I know. And that's why I say it back, because they say it all the time, right? One thing I've learned in my vast many 2,050 years of being alive is when people are irritating you with a saying, say it back to them repeatedly. Get a K. John, go OFW for 2 years, get a job. Maybe get a job? Get a job, yeah. I want to talk about, hey, not tonight, and I'm thinking about doing a video. I want to talk about OFWs that cheat. I'm going to do a little talking head thing here real soon. I'm writing my script out now so I can know my talking point. But I'm going to talk about OFWs in a video really soon, and then we're going to have a chat about it on live stream. Brother, a good mentor. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. I try. Get a job. Go to OFW. Yeah, I agree. It's the entitlement. That's what it is. I know everybody talks about how Americans are entitled. How we have so many people that are entitled here. I think the Philippine people are worse. God bless them. They're worse than we are. They think they're entitled to somebody else pay for their birthday. If you don't have the money to buy your own damn birthday party, then don't have a birthday party. Hello? You know? But no, let's get a sponsor for my birthday party. No, get a job and work it or don't have it. I mean, that's what stresses me out or bothers me about the freaking sponsor crap. It's kind of like, I'm entitled to a sponsor. What? So I had a real problem with that in the Philippines. A lot of the money, OVW says 50%, they all need for college. I know. It's always somebody, I know, they're always needing money. I told you about last week about the story about that guy. You're welcome, Brother Dave. Appreciate that. Dennis agrees with me. Good or bad, wait to see which side you take. Yes. But it's just, entitlement. I'm entitled. I'm entitled not to be asked for money. So, God bless them. It just drives me crazy. Hello, turn 18, go to OFW. That's right, and save, boom. Well, what's really bad is about all the horror stories about all the OFWs, and I'm gonna do a video because I got a story to tell you, guys. Dennis, I got a story I want to talk about, and you guys might be shocked coming up about OFW and cheating. I got a story. So, but I do feel bad for a lot of OFWs because they go overseas, they work, they send money back, they go home and there's no money. Why are you trusting your family? You can't. I tell OFWs that I run into and talk to, don't trust your family. You got to trust yourself. Because when you go home, there's not going to be any money in the bank account. Hello? You know? I think I told you a couple weeks ago about that guy in our community here was telling the story about his wife when she first got to America. They were living somewhere, I don't know. And I guess she got mad one morning or left one morning and went down to the seedy part of town to a park. And he couldn't find her. He finally found her down at this park hanging out with a whole bunch of guys, right? And I guess he said, he went up to her and said, hey, what are you doing? Why are you here? And she's like, well, I need $400. I came to the park. And he's like, well, what do you need $400 for? I would have just gave it to you. Well, I got to pay somebody's college for $400. And I asked him, how did she think she was going to get the $400 at the park? So, CP's on fire. Love fairy tales. Yes, you got to love them fairy tales. David, I went to the Army, get college money. No sponsors. That's right. You get it yourself. No, I didn't have any sponsors putting my fat ass through college either. I paid for every class myself. I paid for my own food, my own shitty apartment. I lived in this shithole of an apartment that you couldn't believe for 7 years, putting my happy ass, living, paying my bills, working, putting myself through college, getting a college job until I really got going. Lived there for 7 years in this shithole in my 20s. Army college, fund and saved. There you go. But yeah, it's the entitlement that drives me crazy. But I often think about that guy. Well, what was your wife? How was your wife going to get $400 in the park? You know, didn't you know she was that type of girl before? You know, I don't know. She's just kind of weird, man. Kind of weird. But I don't know, folks. Stresses me out a little bit. I don't like the sponsor stuff. But we don't mind. Look, we have a plan. And like I said, Hillbilly, the other day, if you know somebody that would like to answer some questions, that would like to talk to me about being a nurse in America recently and going through an agency, I would love to meet them and talk to them. Because we are going to put some people through college to become nurses, to come to America. Because I want Lorelai to have, these aren't her biological kids, but they kind of are, but they're not. They're not related, but they are. I don't know, whatever, you know. I want them to get their nursing degree, come here, bring Karen, the mama. So Lorelai has a family nucleus after I die. So I'm going to pay for college for nursing. Get a degree in the learning centers on the base. Yes, I agree. I got friends that have done that. 8 beaches. Well, I don't know if she's that good. I mean, Craig, I think you're giving her an awful lot of credit. Oh, okay, Craig, yeah. Does she carry condoms in her purse? Right, you know? So, you gotta wonder. I mean, you just gotta wonder, right? I don't know why he told that story. If my wife would never have. But if my wife would have done that, I would have never mentioned. I would have never said that to any living person in there. Yeah, about $30, $25 maybe. I don't know. Dennis. What do they run these days? No, Panay uses condom. No, Panay used condom. God. I just thought that was extremely weird, personally. You know, I thought that was a weird story. But whatever. But we are planning on trying to get Karen's daughters to become nurses so they can immigrate to America. In fact, No Panay uses condom. Well, not many of them. Yeah. Let me tell you this. Can I tell you another story? I got to clean it up a little bit. I was talking to some gentleman today who's dating a Filipina for the first time. And she's in America. Okay, she's an older lady. They're older, like my age and stuff. So not young and pretty. Very flippant, weird, especially telling it. It is, right? But today I had this friend of mine say, hey, he called me. He's asked me, he's like, well, he wanted to talk about her. And he said, well, things are going pretty good. And said her English is really bad, so she doesn't talk much. But she communicates in other ways. And I can tell that she really likes spending time with me and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's good. But let me explain something to you about Philippine women. And I do think Philippine women and Thai women are really good at this. They are really good, and forgive me, all you beautiful women out there who are going to hate me for this, but Philippine women have a very, I think, unique ability to sucker any guy in sexually like that. I don't understand it. There's the Dougster channel. I'm all ears, Doug says. Everybody say hello to our good friend Doug. So they have the unique ability, without saying anything, between their smiles and their actions, to sucker us in, to get us hooked. They can hook men like no, and I told them this. I said, they have an agenda and they have a plan. They don't need to talk about it. They just know how to get you here. Game over. Everybody say hello to my friend Doug. Doug, how are you? I'm glad you're back in America, buddy. How are the K-1 visa processing going? At least Thailand uses birth control. Yeah, okay. Be right back. Daughter's home. Need to change the wiper blades. Nice of you, Craig. That's good of you. So, Doug, how are you? What's going on, buddy? So he's all excited because he can tell this girl has great affection for him. And I was trying nicely to say, it's because you have money and she wants out of her current situation. And as she knows, if she's affectionate with you, that she can hook you. She doesn't got to say anything. She doesn't got to speak the language. They know how to use their bodies to get anything they want. You haven't started anything yet? All right, Doug. Doug, you and I need to get together one of these days. Maybe we can get together for lunch, Doug. You know what I mean? Maybe we can just meet in between and go have lunch somewhere over there in Town or something, Doug. I'd like to see you. Hear how your trip went. Thailand are about the money first. Just business relationship. That's why they use birth control. All right. But I know all of you guys in here know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to exactly sum it up in a few words. Dennis maybe can come up with something good because he's good at this. But they have the unique ability, boom, to hook men like nobody's business. And I don't know exactly what it is. But I told this guy, I didn't want to burst his bubble and say, you're her way out of something is why she's so affectionate to the guy she just met. Because she knows that you're a step or two, 3 or 4 or 5 above where she's at, and she wants to get here. And she's going to use what's between the legs to get here. Period. Now, on the other side of that coin, let me say this. And I think I mentioned this before. Put you in the little head spell. Ooh, I like that, Dennis. She puts the head spell on them. I like that. Can we start using that, Dennis? The Filipinas know how to put you in a head spell. I like that, Dennis. Hello to Pat from the Dougster channel. Thinks Vietnam women are best for frugal wives. Nice, that'd be good. My wife's not that frugal. So she's a good shopper, right? She's a good shopper. She finds really good bargains, but it's always shit we don't need. But I was telling you guys a few weeks ago, or somebody a while back, that the problem with Filipinas now are, I know what you mean. I think the Filipinas are getting to the point where they think what's between their legs is so extremely powerful, way more powerful than you could ever imagine. I've told you the example of when my wife's sister, who's a teacher, came here a few years ago. She came with a whole group of teachers through an agency. They landed in Chicago. They all lived together for a short time. They all got together, walked down the street, and they were flabbergasted and shocked that nobody gave them the time of the day. Nobody flirted with them. Nobody asked them who they were. Nobody wanted their phone numbers. Nobody wanted a damn thing to do with them, because they were under the impression that since they were Filipinas, and they're under the impression that white men, American men, want them so badly that when they got off the plane in America, they were going to be mobbed by men. So they think what's between their legs is way more powerful than it really is. The little head, not the big one. I understand. Dougster, do Luke Golden Corral for lunch? Sure. Luke, I don't know what Luke means. I know what Golden Corral is, but I'm happy to meet you, Doug. Absolutely. Vietnam and Korean men had the small. Yes, I know. Fact, they love expats. That's right. Well, yeah, because Asian men. I mean, you got to feel bad for Asian men. Not only are they little bitty creatures, but they got little bitty creatures. So no wonder the women folk love us so much. Love us so much. Love you a long time. Been to Vietnam once, seen a lot of good people. Well, maybe, yeah. Well, oh my God. The stuff we talk about. I agree, and maybe that's why once they get it, they don't want to give it up, right? Or maybe they've heard, and look, and I can't get too much into some of this, and I just won't. But I know that I've heard the Filipinos talking, because they don't think I understand the language. I can't speak it, I can't read it, but I can understand what they're talking about. And I've heard them talking about, things. Got you laughing on that one, Pat? Very true. 3 inches hard. That's, was that what we call a micro penis in America? What do we, is that what we call a liberal? Someone who made the bad decision to take estrogen, thinking they were really a woman, I can't say too much. I don't want to get too graphic, but I know there's stories of body parts of foreigners not fitting in Asian women. I know it, heard it, takes effort, time, and work sometimes to make that connection work correctly. So, because they're just not used to the manliness, right? When you're, hang on, gotta figure out how to do this. When you're used to this, and then you get this, I think it's a big difference. And I think it hooks them. Oh, Jesus Christ. She had 3 gigs and still a virgin, couldn't break the hymen. Because you can get pregnant, if you didn't know this, you truly can get pregnant with your hymen intact. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but you can. So it's possible. That's horrible, though. I hear the Filipino call us monster, Brother David. Yes, everyone knows what I'm talking about. I know. They call Dennis the Canadian monster. Ooh, instead of the American monster. But it is funny. But they have a way of putting that small head spell on men that you can't believe. And it works. It works well. But I still, so you guys got me off track. I was telling this friend today about this. And I told him, I said, but if you're okay with it, then it doesn't matter. If you know what she's doing and what her purpose is, that she's giving you all of this loving so that she can elevate her status. And if you're okay with that, no problem. But as long as you know that's what's going on. He was under the impression, and I hate to be mean, he was under the impression, gentlemen, that he was one sexy mofo, is that how you say that? He was one sexy ass man, and this woman just couldn't get enough of him. So I had to explain to him, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's not about you, it's about what you can do for her. And she's wanting out of her situation, and you're 5-10 steps way above her situation. So, but I hated to burst his bubble. I did it gently, but I made sure he knew and understood, you know, you're not me. Oh my God. My fiancé said, he size what hard the size of my pink. Oh my, that's horrible. That's horrible. I had a friend in high school. His name was Dennis Day. He had a micro penis. And how do I know this? Because he showed us all the time. He really liked fat chicks too. For some reason, he was into, fat chicks. He was the guy that had he always having sex because he was having sex with the fat chicks. So he always was doing that. You know, he was always getting lucky. But he was a great guy, a good dude. And he was not ashamed of his little micro penis hard. Because he would walk around, you know, at parties and stuff where we were drinking, having a good time, all of that stuff that high schoolers do. And he was happy to whip out his micro penis. But he got laid a lot from these fat chicks. I don't know if it went anywhere, but he got laid a lot. Let me just say that. Oh my God. But I'm a great guy, good buddy, good friend. You know, kind of dumb, but a good guy. And but he got laid a lot. He had all the fat chicks lining up. So because he didn't mind the fat chicks, and they had nobody else to go to but micro penis boy. So there you go. So maybe that's about the same analogy, right? The same size. I don't know. So, but how bad are we? Who's talking about this stuff? You guys need to clean out your minds or whatever. You know, dirty-minded people on this live stream. I'm ashamed of you all. I'm ashamed of you all. How dare you? But I don't know how it is. So, all right, what were we talking about? Were we talking about anything good? So, I'm almost 4,000 subscribers. Yay, me. Does anybody know that? Does anybody care? Well, I almost got 4,000 subscribers. It's taken me 4 years. Maybe in another year I'll have another 1,000. My fiance told me, I understand. I mean, I can't tell you about my wife. So, oh my God. I put a new video out today, a new short about advice for husbands. You guys need to go watch that. Star Fox is back. Have you ever used a glory hole? I don't know what that is, so I don't think I have. I don't know what that is. A glory hole. Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is that? If it's bad, don't use any bad words. But yeah, I don't know what that is. Hillbilly may know. I know it, Hillbilly. It sucks when you give the first night, then it never stops. I agree, I'm telling you. It's like, you know, we can take a break, it's okay. I know, I'm telling you. They know how to, boom, you know, I'm telling you. Which is a good thing. I mean, Filipino women are beautiful, and they're sexy, and they're very, enjoyable. So I highly recommend them, but it is quite interesting, right? Oh my God. You guys are horrible people. I'm ashamed of all of y'all. How dare you? But yeah, I don't know what that is, Star. I just don't. I'm not very smart on things. So try to keep with the Pinay she wants. Oh my God, I know. I wish mine did. You know, I mean, I would be okay with that. Some of them, from what I've been told, some of them are hypersensitive, and the hypersensitivity prevents them from too much stimulation. It's too much stimulation. It's overstimulation, is what I've been told and have heard. So maybe that's kind of in the similar realm. So, and it's easy for them to be happy, I found. And I don't know, maybe this is a general statement just from listening to all the girls and the men talking. Because when we have big parties, I sit and listen to the guys. I don't say a lot of times, but I sit and listen. And Doug says, I'm headed to bed. I'll text tomorrow. All right, Doug, we'll do it, buddy. Say Pinay more in bed, the American wife. I agree. There's no difference. They are easier to make happy, I think. I do. I've been told that by many, many people, that it's not as difficult to make them happy, if you guys know what I mean. So, I've never had an American wife. I told my friend today that even though he knows now, he understands why the affection is coming his way and that it's okay, they're still 10 times better than American women. So American women are horrible, I think. And yes, for all of you American women listening to my channel, you can hate me if you want. Yes, you can. Yucky, yucky, yucky. What do we know? What can we do? What do we do when we fall in love? And of course, that's what I mean. Filipino women are really good with converting lust into love. I mean, they know how to do it. I think it's ingrained into their DNA. I don't know if it's taught in the schools in the Philippines or not, but I definitely know that they know how to flip that switch. And that's why so many men like them that are into Asian women. There you go. You got to set some limitations. You know, look, a body can only do what a body can do. You know, just the way it is. Otherwise, they need to go get their own damn pillow. Tita Marie, how are you? How about Canadian women? Well, let me ask you this, Tita. Are you Canadian? If you are, then we love Canadian women. You know? How's that? You like how I kind of do that? Thank you for coming in. I'm going to go check your channel out. You got a YouTube channel? Well, you do. 2,000 subscribers. Nice. I don't think you're Canadian, so that's good. But it looks like you're living in the land of Canada, right? I call it Canada. Are you living there? So, full blown. See, that's why we like you, because you're full blown. Filipina. Everybody say hello to our good friend Tita Marie. Now, what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, if you want, I'm going to turn you blue so you can drop your link. I see you have a real channel. I'll turn you blue. And you're welcome to drop your link anytime. Thank you for subscribing to us, and I'm going to do that shortly. Everybody else in here, go and subscribe to her channel if you would, please. Good hat. Pat says, find a good shirt, Brother David. I send you. All right, I'll look. You send me a message. Everybody's telling me if I don't feel like it, doing Benet was Tampo. I love Tampo. Tampo is one of the greatest things in the world. I like quiet time. I like it when my wife gets mad at me. That means I can just do what I want to do and I don't worry about it. So, you guys all make sure you subscribe to Tita. Did you send me a thing, Pat, on Facebook? Wow, you've been in Canada since you were 3 years, so you're really Canadian. Our good friend Dennis in the house is Canadian. Wow. Wow. Pat's going to check you out and subscribe to you. Nice. So do you go to the Philippines very much? See, you've been in Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. You're married to a handsome looking guy, kind of looks like me. So, you know, that's good. Nice channel. Glad to meet you on your channel. We're happy to support you. Everybody else will support you too. I thought Pat, were you saying you sent me something? Pat, I was asking if you sent me something on Facebook. I thought you said something about that. If not, that's all right. She's born Filipina, so you're go. Do you ever get to the Philippines? Have you ever, you look like a young lady, so have you ever got to go to the Philippines? My wife's from Cebu, Mandaue area. I've got the perspective of both Westerners and Filipinos. Good. Okay. All right, Pat. Are you sending me, you want to send me something through the mail, Pat, or are you showing me some pictures? Wow, you go to the Philippines every 6 months? Hot damn. Man, your husband, you guys must be loaded. Go, I got you. In the mail. All right, I'll send you my address, Pat. I'll send you my address. Give me a couple minutes and I'll send it to you tonight, I promise. Okay? I'll take care of you, Pat. You're retired? You look awful young to be retired. So does your husband like the Philippines? Let's make lumpia. Ooh, are you good at making lumpia? Lumpia is one of my favorite. Now, you got to make it right, though. There's so many, I'm sorry, but there's so many Filipinas that don't make lumpia correct. And I'm telling you guys, all out there, you don't put Asian 5-spice on it at the end. You don't sprinkle it on. That's not what you do. I'm very particular about my lumpia. Okay, Pat. Everybody says, did I miss anybody? We're retired. Yippers, Hilly. David was, you were retired at 36 from the Army due to heart problems. Okay. I retired at 48. Hubby loves the Philippines, and I prefer South of America. All right. Well, yeah. Well, it won't be that long, Pat. Yes, fish sauce is important. And the right temperature of the oil. A lot of people don't understand that you don't want the temperature to be too low or too high. You got to get the right temperature because you don't want the vegetables to soak in the oil. You know, when you want it to fry in the oil, not soak in the oil. The ladies, my wife is at work because she works. Usually we only have a few ladies pop in and out. They hear us idiot men talking and they run away. But we do have a lot of females that follow our channel and come in and out, and there are times that we actually have 5 or 10 women on a live stream, and we have some really good female conversations too. Yeah, Argentina would be nice. I would like to go to Argentina. I would like to go to Chile? No. What's the other one? Colombia, maybe? Yeah, we cruise. We love cruises. We don't get to do it enough. I would recommend it. We're going to go on one next year, hopefully. We're going to go to Europe next year. My wife is wanting that. So, we love to cruise. We've lived in the Philippines. We go to the Philippines. We live in America currently. We live in the middle of America, but I'm hoping, my wife could care less. I'm hoping we can move down to the Gulf of America because I like it better. It's warmer. Panama's a good place. Panama's a good place. I agree. I would like to go and hang out there. And then the PH in the winter. Ecuador, yeah. I'm going to make a comment real quick. We like to take cruises, cheap vacation, get everything done. Ah, all right. So you're dedicated to NCL, nice, Norwegian Cruise Line. We've done a whole bunch of Carnival, but we've kind of outgrown Carnival. We kind of find the older we get, the more we want nicer, if that makes sense. We don't want a bunch of drunken idiots. We like the finer, I know, hopefully that doesn't make us sound egotistical, but we've grown to, my wife doesn't care too much, but I've really grown to not, I like dressing up. I like eating good food. I love going on good excursions. I don't mind paying the money. I like having nicer things around me. I enjoy, Chile is the place. I enjoy good people that are respectful. So I like and we haven't decided on which cruise ship to go on in Europe yet. But we were going to go on a cruise. What we were going to do was, in the spring of this coming year, we were going on a cruise with some friends, but it was going to be their first time. And we were going to go to the Caribbean. I think we were going to go to like the Cayman Islands or the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, somewhere in that region. But right before we booked it, we found out that she was pregnant and she was going to have her baby about a month before we were going to go on the cruise. So we scrapped that and said, okay, we won't do that. So I started to plan a cruise for my wife and I to go on our wedding anniversary in a few months. And I got it all figured out, and she decided, why don't we just save it and go to Europe next year, like on MSC or Norwegian or somebody. So next year we're going to be doing that. I got to figure it all out yet, but we're going to go on it. Chile has beautiful mountains, yes. Hillbilly, have you been to Chile? Thinking of going there? I haven't, but I'd love to go. Mountains, mountains, mountains. But yeah, we like the south. We've been up and down the coast in South America, Brazil, Honduras on the cruise. Brazil and Honduras we found kind of boring. Our favorite place on a cruise to go was Aruba and Curacao. We really enjoyed that trip. I live in America, in the center part of America, in a state called Arkansas. So that's kind of what we do. And so next year we're going to go on a cruise. Hillbilly lives in America right now, but he spends his time in the Philippines. He has family. Their Pat's in America. He's been married to a Filipino in the past, but he's single now. Dennis, our good friend Dennis, is in Canada. Our good friend Craig had to go change windshield wipers. He's in Australia. So a lot of the guys are in America. A lot of guys are in the Philippines. We have a lot of followers, expats that are living in the Philippines currently, all over the Philippines, and then here all over the America. Pat says, I am single right now. Woohoo! Pat's single. I'm not single, I am married. Just ask my wife. My wife is the type of Filipina that won't let me date. So. All right, my friends. All right, my friends, it's a little bit after 10 o'clock. I think it's time for me to wind this down. We've been on here a couple of hours. And Tita, we appreciate you joining us, liking us, subscribing us. Come back anytime. Bring your husband, come back yourself. Everybody say goodbye to each other. But I'm going to wind this down tonight. And my wife does a lot of live streams, Tita, if you want to pay attention and hit the alert bell. My wife will do a lot of live streams. And hers are more girly live streams and more fun, I guess. So she does do a lot. So you can meet her and talk to her and visit with her and all that good stuff. 30 years, been great. Ours is 11 years this September. 11 years this September. And I still got to figure out what we're doing because, you know, since we're not tripping. But everybody, we appreciate everybody in the background, everybody hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for the thumbs up and subscribing. And we appreciate you. And please come back and join us. Remember, I can solve all of your problems in the whole world. Just ask. Take care, everybody.